Good evening. You're watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq issues a royal decree. The activities of the third forum of health leaders at the Ministry of Health continues in Al Jabal Al Akhtar. And more than 880 investment opportunities are announced in the Development and Business Opportunities Forum in the Governorate of Bahrain. Those were the headlines, and now the news in detail. His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq issued a Royal Decree number 39/2023 on appointing Under-Secretary for the Foreign Ministry for the Financial and Administrative Affairs. Article 1. Khalid bin Hashil bin Mohammed al-Musalhi shall be appointed as Under-Secretary of the Foreign Ministry for the Financial and Administrative Affairs. Article 2. This decree shall be published in the Official Gazette and shall come into effect from the date of its issue. For the second day, the activities of the third forum of health leaders at the Ministry of Health continued in Al Jabal Al Akhtar. More details in the following report.
Development, innovation, and promoting integration to develop health services were among the main discussion topics at the third forum of health leaders at the Ministry of Health, which took place in Al Jabal Al Akhdar. On the second day of the forum, the participants were acquainted with the laws and executive regulations pertaining to the State Audit Institution.
His Excellency the Minister of Health has a very strong and clear vision to improve the healthcare services. And of course, we as leaders in the governorates, we have that vision, which is very clear. And in order for us to implement that vision, we really need to know a lot of things beyond the Minister of Health. One of the things that are really important is what the state audit does in terms of roles, responsibilities, and the way they can help us to improve the work we do at our place.
It's a great opportunity for us to meet with our colleagues from different areas in Oman, and it's a very pleasure to me to be here with them today to discuss different issues facing the health system in Oman, and also to try to find a solution to solve it, and together the expert opinion also about many things which we are facing daily in our daily practice. I learn a lot of things definitely, and when I will go back to the field, it will help me to implement some of these ideas.
Health services officials were also briefed on the prominent achievements of cooperation between the Ministry of Higher Education, Research and Innovation and health sector authorities regarding human resources development, postgraduate studies and health education.
The coordination and collaboration between the Ministry of Higher Education, Research and Innovation, as well as Ministry of Health. Of course, each country gives the priority, or supposed to give always the priority, to health. When we look after our health, it should come through developing the sources or the human sources in this field. So we have to build our generations in the health field, so they will be ready tomorrow to serve their country, to serve their citizens. And this collaboration, as I said, should get always the priority in this country, and it is actually getting that.
The forum concluded with a training workshop for the participants on comprehensive health coverage and sustainable development goals. The outcomes of the forum will serve the endeavors taken to boost the quality of healthcare services provided across the various health institutions in the country. From the Wilaya of Al Jabal Al Akhdar, Salih Abu Khalfan Al-Rahbi, Al-Dakhiliya, Governorate.
More than 880 investment opportunities were announced in the Development and Business Opportunities Forum in the Governorate of Bahrain. The forum was organized by Oman Development Bank in cooperation with the Office of the Governor of Brahmi. The forum focused on a number of presentations by various bodies in addition to memoranda of cooperation and funding agreements. During the forum, it was revealed that the downtown project in the Wilaya of Brahmi and the artificial lake project were near completion. These two projects will contribute in providing business opportunities for entrepreneurs and small and medium-sized enterprises owners. The value of investment opportunities presented during the forum reached more than 22 million Omani Riyals. It is worth mentioning that the 3 memoranda of cooperation and 8 agreements were signed during the forum. The annual inflation rate in the Sultanate of Oman reached 91% by the end of May 2023. According to the data of the monthly consumer price survey issued by the National Center for Statistics and Information, the inflation rate was driven by the rise of most of the main groups that make up consumer price index, led by restaurants and hotels by 3.69%. Brahmi Governorate recorded the highest inflation rate among the governorates by 1.63% compared to the lowest inflation rate in North and South Sharqiya Governorates by 0.34%. Still to come in our news bulletin. The Governorate of Musandam witnesses the implementation of the trial for early warning broadcasting system. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. The Cultural Club organized the first short theoretical plays forum in which 4 teams from the Sultanate of Oman and other countries took part. The forum aims at stressing the importance of integrating art, literature and other forms of theoretical plays as part of the local culture of Sultanate of Oman. After the short plays, a discussion panel was formed to review the short plays and how to attract more participation and engagements from theatre artists for future events. The Oman Association for Disabled launched its activities in the Governorate of Dhofar after the orientation meeting in Sultan Qaboos Youth Complex in Salalah. The association branch in Dhofar seeks to provide quality services to individuals with disabilities in the Governorate of Dhofar by addressing their needs and integrate them in the community. The association Dhofar branch was declared recently in March this year and started to operate in Dhofar through the association board and other committees. Oman Airports signed a memorandum of understanding with IGA Academy in Istanbul Airport. The memorandum of understanding seeks to promote training programs in the field of aviation and exchange expertise and knowledge with other global stakeholders. The memorandum seeks to also promote the aviation excellence in the Sultanate of Oman through partnership and collaboration with other international agencies. The Oman Cancer Association in the Governorate of Dhahira organized a series of sports and cultural activities to promote cancer awareness in the community. The activities included also a walkathon and an exhibition to inform the community about importance of healthy diets and exercise to prevent the combat cancer diseases. Sports and cultural clubs and schools teachers and students in the Governorate participated in the walkathon that showed solidarity with cancer patients and commitment to lead a healthy life. The wilayas of the Governorate of Musandam witnessed the implementation of the early warning trial as part of readiness plan in cases of emergencies and catastrophes. Here's a report.
An early warning trial was carried out in the Governorate of Musandam as part of readiness plan in cases of emergencies and catastrophes. Authorities from the Telecommunication Regulatory Authority, Civil Aviation Authority and Royal Oman Police, in cooperation with mobile service providers, launched a real-life trial for the early warning broadcasting system to review the effectiveness of the system. The trial, which covered all the coastal areas in the Governorate of Musandam, was successful as it reached the majority of residents. The early warning messages were sent in many languages, covering Arabic, English and Urdu, to ensure the message is understood by most of the people in the area. The broadcasting system will be in the future to warn people in cases of tropical hurricanes, heavy rains or tsunamis.
And now for the international world, Palestinian officials said Israeli forces shot dead a Palestinian fighter in the occupied West Bank today, as army said it came under fire during an operation to demolish an apartment. The Palestinian Health Ministry said in a statement that a 20-year-old was killed by live Israeli bullets in the head in Nablus. An official at the Nablus Al-Najah hospital told reporters that 2 others were injured in the overnight clashes which erupted with Israeli forces entered the city in the northern West Bank to demolish the home of an alleged attacker. Meanwhile, Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas met with Chinese Premier Li Qiang in Beijing today, during which they pledged to further promote bilateral relations. Abbas, who is on a 3-day state visit to Beijing, hopes to demonstrate that there is a Chinese support for a Palestinian state after failing to meet with American officials while in New York for the United Nations General Assembly last month. Sudan's devastating war ranged into a 3rd month today as a governor's killing marked a new escalation in the western region of Darfur. Since April 15, the regular army headed by Abdel Fattah al-Burhan, the Parliamentary Rapid Support Forces, commanded by his former deputy Mohamed Hamdan Daglo, have been locked in combat and destroyed entire neighborhoods of the capital, Khartoum. The fighting quickly spread into the provinces, particularly Darfur, and has killed at least 1,800 people, according to the Armed Conflict Location and Event Data Project's latest figures from last month. Ukrainian forces intercepted 1 cruise missile and 20 explosive drones launched by Russia in its latest nightmare attack, according to the military. But it said 3 other missiles struck industrial installations in the Dnipropetrovsk region in the center-east of Ukraine. Meanwhile, NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg said NATO's support for Ukraine is making a difference on the battlefield as Ukraine embarks on its counter-offensive against Russia. India was bracing for a powerful cyclone expected to make landfall today evening, threatening homes in coastal areas and causing residents to feel unsafe. The Director General of Meteorology in India's Meteorological Department said the storm has demanding potential, especially for vulnerable coastal communities. Authorities in India's western state of Gujarat have evacuated more than 75,000 people. One resident in the coastal town Dwarka said she felt unsafe with the storm approaching as temples, shops and ports in the district of Gujarat, which are forecasted to be the most affected, remained shut. Earlier on Thursday, the storm, classified as a very severe cyclone, was centered at 180 kilometers off Jakku port in Gujarat and 270 kilometers off Karachi in Pakistan. This is the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq issues a royal decree. The activities of the third Forum of Health Leaders at the Ministry of Health continues in Al Jabal Al Akhtar. And more than 880 investment opportunities are announced in the Development and Business Opportunities Forum in the Governorate of Bahrain. With that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here at the studios and the newsroom, it's good night and stay safe.